4-5 matchup against Texas in that best of 3. How does that experience from last year help you guys this week with a series against Iowa?
I think it helps. The guys that were here last year, it helps for sure. We have some other guys that have playoff experience, so yeah, we feel good about it.
What is the big difference between regular season hockey and playoff hockey?
I think your decisions have bigger implications in terms of your discipline and your composure and how you're managing your puck and how you're managing your emotions.
For you as a coach, is there anything you change, philosophy-wise, scheme-wise, when it is like this ramped-up hockey like this?
Not really. We tweaked a couple of things, but for the most part, it's the same structure as we had all year. And the dress rehearsal was over, right? Time to go to the dance.
This team came through in the clutch at the end when it needed to. I guess, what does that say about this group of guys and their readiness for the playoffs?
Well, it speaks high of their character, right? I think that it's been like that a little bit all year. If it's been the amount of overtime games we played, or they just been able to show up when it really matters.
You mentioned the high number of overtime games. You guys actually led the league in overtime games with 24 this year. How does playing in that many overtime games or shootout games prepare you guys for the playoffs like this?
Well, a little bit like we talked about at the start there, what's important, the puck management and keeping your composure in those games. And I think we've shown that throughout the season that we can handle that. And it's impressive with some of these young guys that have been through it and have been able to handle it as well as they have. So I think it's a huge growth in their development and learning curve that's spiked the right way for them.
What are your thoughts on Iowa? What jumps out about them after 12 matchups against that group?
Yeah, it's a good team, good structure, veteran team, really defensively sound. They're hard to get to, so it's going to be a little bit of a chess match here.
Seems like you guys started really playing your best hockey, the biggest games, like the Chicago game. Have you seen a jump from this team just in their play?
Yeah. And again, it comes back to, I think, when the games are on the line, this group feel, we have a good feeling. They know it's time to step up, and they do it.
You think there's still another jump they can make too with all the new talent that's come in?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I saw some spurts of it with some of the line combination we put together in the last couple of games that seemed to be clicking and found some chemistry there.
This is a full deck, the fullest you've had all year talent-wise with all the guys here right now. As a coach, how nice is that? And are there any challenges to having so many guys like that, so many moving parts who are now all together at once?
Yeah, I don't see any challenges. There's a lot of opportunities. Different guys can play with each other. Like I said, it seemed like we found some chemistry with some of those lines. Obviously, that can change, but it's a great opportunity. It makes our life easier when you have that type of talent for sure. And we have some game breakers, and when the game's on the line, they know how to step up.
Do you see any lineup changes then compared to the end of the regular season to the start of the playoffs, or is everything just about set here?
I'm not giving you that right now.
It's such a short series, best of 3. How do you prepare the guys mentally for that? What do you tell them about the urgency factor when it comes to just a short series like this?
Honestly, we don't have to tell them. They know. They know that we have guys that have been around. They talk amongst each other, and everybody knows it's best out of 3. So I think it's important here. We have our first game at home, so we can get in our building and hopefully have a big crowd that's behind us and just get going.
Arvid has really stepped up in net, especially the past couple of games. What do you say about it, just as a coach, having him in net for you?
Oh, it gives you a good feeling in your stomach when he's in net, for sure, right? So, he's been great. Yeah.
And if I'm remembering correctly, he was the goalkeeper through last year's playoffs. So, how does that experience, knowing that he's coming in with playoff experience, 2 series worth as well, help him in a situation like this?
Well, I think it helps for sure. Last year he was impressive the way he played for us last year. I think lately he's found that same groove, and I think he's even better today than he was last year.
And what has that, increased been like? Because I know when he was with the Blackhawks, he might have been struggling a little bit, and now he sort of found this sort of confidence again at the right time here.
Yeah, no, it's huge. I mean, I think for him, he just, his demeanor is awesome. He understands the things he can control and the things he can't control, and he's really good at filtering those things. And yeah, that's where he's at.
Philp was named the MVP the other night. What is it about his body of work that kind of stood out that makes him so valuable to this team?
Long list. I mean, he does everything for us, right? He checks, PKs, power plays, offensively, defensively, face-offs. Yeah, he's been huge. He's a winner. You can tell where the programs he comes from, and just by his habits, you know.
So how exciting is this time of the year, and especially with the suspense at the end, because you guys didn't know until the final day if you would get in. So how exciting is it right now to be ready for, be preparing for the playoffs?
Yeah, it's super exciting. We've been through a lot as a group this year. Some turnover with guys getting traded and bringing new guys in, and then losing some guys to the Hawks for an extended period of time. So, no, I'm super excited for the group we have, and like you said, it was a stressful couple of weeks, but we stuck with it as a group. We stayed in our locker room and just focused on ourselves, and we're excited for tomorrow.
You mentioned the turnover at the trade deadline, and then obviously a few moves right before the end of the season with the addition of Reichel and Vlasic coming back down here to Rockford. What kind of impact have those guys made as you guys kind of come back to quote-unquote full strength here?
Yeah, every guy that's come down from being up with the Hawks is, it's you come down with extra confidence, and it's obviously a different pace, different level, but every guy that's come back has come in and helped, and it's easy for guys to come down and maybe be upset that they're not back in the NHL, or to come down and kind of disrespect the league a bit and not try as hard. But every single guy, look at what Reichs has done last couple of games. He's come down and been one of our best players and won some games for us. So it's a great side when young guys are doing that.
When you look at all the talent in the locker room right now, do you look at this team and go, this is not a number 5 seed. This is a team that is as good as anybody and has a good shot at the cup?
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about comparing to other teams, but I love the kind of the workup of our group. We got 4 lines that can score. We got 4 lines that can bang and play physical games. So it doesn't matter what our matchups are, whether teams want to try to match up against us. I think every line brings something that that at the end of the day will help us win.
Seems like you guys started playing some of your best hockey in the biggest games this season. Do you feel like you guys have made a jump this late in the year?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of it too comes from guys who have been in this situation before, having a guy like Dave who won it last year, and guys who have played in the league a long time, even Philp and Buddy who have played some meaningful playoff hockey. It's good to have those guys in the locker room and kind of help settle guys down if it is getting intense or stressed out. It's good to have guys who have been in this situation before to kind of collect the group together and kind of get us all going on the same path.
What's your playoff background? Do you have any AHL playoff experience?
No, not the 1 year we were looking good in Binghamton. It was the COVID year that shut us down. So other than that, the other 3 years I haven't made the playoffs. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing some meaningful hockey.
So what are you expecting? How do you think playoff hockey is going to differ from regular season hockey?
I mean, in college and in juniors, I played some pretty meaningful playoff hockey, but obviously at the pro level, it's different. And I'll just try to treat it like every other game. And obviously there's that extra aspect that it's that time of year where there's more on the line, but that doesn't necessarily change the way I'm going to play the game.
You guys faced off against Iowa 12 times this year, and in 7 of those games, you guys forced overtime or shootout. What about that experience against this type of opponent and that type of environment prepares you for a series like this? Yeah,
I mean, it's just the way the kind of the league's set up is you play the same teams 12, 14, 15 times a year, so you're going to have those built-in rivalries, and even with guys in the other team that you're playing against so often, there's going to be that kind of built-in rivalry aspect. So like I said before, we're just going to try to stay in our locker room and worry about our own game and what we're doing out there, and then we'll be ready for whatever they bring back with us.
What does Iowa do well? What do you have to do to play them well in this series?
I think they're pretty similar in that they like to play a physical game. They got some bigger bodies, so do we, and they got some skilled guys, and as we do. So it'll be a fun series. It'll be a good matchup, and we're just focused on coming out on top tomorrow.
What would you like to see from the home crowd Wednesday night here?
Yeah, I hope it's jam packed. It's already a loud rink, and we've had a couple sellouts this year where you can really see the fans really get into it. So. We don't know how many games you got left at home, and it's just, when it's playoff time. So I expect it'll be a good crowd for sure.
You and Anderson were teammates last year with the Marlins, right? So,
yeah.
How is it having him back on your team again?
Yeah. I actually play with him in New Jersey and Binghamton as well. So we seem to be following each other around. But no, he's one of my good buddies just outside of hockey too. And he's such a good person, great hockey player as well. But he's just a good person, and he fits in great with our kind of the group we have, and he's come in and he's fit in well. So no, we're happy to have him for sure.
That's good. Philp, just describe the emotions right now as you guys get ready for some playoff hockey.
Yeah, we're really excited. It came down to the wire for us, but we put ourselves in a position to control our fate there with winning that last game. So we're ready to get going here.
How do you think playoff hockey will differ from regular season hockey?
Well, everything's just ramped up. It's more intense. It's heavier. The battle levels up. Just that must-win mentality is kind of in every game. So it's just things are just going to ramp up here quickly.
How much did this past weekend, 3 games in 3 days, it seems like every time you check the standings, they're in some sort of different formation. How did this past weekend prepare you for what you guys have coming up this week?
Yeah, it was good for us. I think down the stretch here, we've played a lot of meaningful hockey though, and we've had a lot of close games and tight matchups. So, it's going to be nothing new here. It's just that level of intensity and the overall play is just going to be picked up a little bit.
You were named the MVP of the team. What did that mean to you, and how do you feel about the progression you've made as a player this year?
Yeah, it's a big honor for me. We got a lot of great players on this team, and I think there's lots of guys who could have been deserving of that award as well. But it's an honor for me, and it's humbling.
It seems like you always hear hockey players talk about wanting to be consistent. I kind of feel like you were that guy. You were kind of Mr. Consistent, pretty steady all year. Do you feel that way about the way you perform?
Yeah, I mean, that's something I want to have as a staple of my game. Just that consistency, bringing the same effort in every night, being reliable in all different situations on the ice. So that's part of my game that I take pride in.
As you mentioned, there are a lot of talented guys on this team who could have been named MVP or outstanding player or whatever. As you look at the talent in the locker room right now with all the guys who have been brought in recently, what do you think the outlook is in the playoffs for this group? I mean, you go in as like a 5 seed, but this is not a 5 seed team talent-wise, is it?
No, we want to win. We're here to win, and I think that no matter our position coming in, we're expecting to win, and that's our mindset moving forward here.
Played a lot of games against Iowa. What have you seen from them? What do they do well?
Yeah, they're a great team. We haven't seen them in a little while. We went back and forth with them early in the year. Some hard-fought games between them. So they got some talented guys, and they play a hard game. They come at you hard. So nothing. We won't be ready for them.
You mentioned those hard-fought games. 7 of your 12 games against them were in overtime or a shootout at some point. How does that prepare you for a matchup like this in a series where you have the playoffs like this?
Yeah, exactly. Those are key games going throughout the season. Those tight games kind of prepare you all season long for playoffs, because most games are tight in playoffs. So we've had a lot of experience with that throughout the year, and especially against this team. So it's going to be a good battle.
Looking forward to this then.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think obviously I've played in some big games in my amateur career through college and junior, but never at the pro level. So it'll be a first for me, and it'll be exciting.
It's such a whirlwind year for you between the trade from Toronto, with the Marlies, the Maple Leafs, the Blackhawks, and now here. Is your head just kind of spinning? You wake up in the morning and go, okay, where am I? Or is it all kind of have you settled in here?
Maybe not quite yet here, but you just show up at the rink and play, and kind of do whatever they ask me. I was like that in Toronto. It just, if they want me up or down, just go with a good attitude and try and help. And same thing here in Chicago. Whatever they tell me to do, just go there and try as hard as I can to help the team and have a good attitude and be a good teammate.
How much does it help having Seney around you?
It's been fun. Yeah, we obviously, our careers have aligned really well in pro with playing together, and we've become really good friends. So it's obviously nice to have that familiar face and some good chemistry with him.
You just mentioned that you've already jumped in not just with him, but the whole team just fit right in, good chemistry. I guess what do you credit that to coming in literally this week and now hoping to go on a big playoff with this team?
Well, I think it helps just seeing obviously a handful of the guys were up with Chicago at various points in the last 2 months. So getting to see guys there, and then just I think just trying to have a good, like I said, just a good attitude going in the room and asserting myself as not just on the ice, but like, engaging in conversation with guys and being a part of the room. And I think that can help, the more guys doing that, the better. So if we can, bring some more guys to do that, like we'll have a good chance here down the stretch.
I think a lot of IceHogs fans are still getting to know you a little bit. How would you kind of describe your skill set, what you bring to the team?
Very detail oriented. I think I use the term cerebral a lot, but just very like smart in the right spots. Win puck battles, go to the net hard, try and put in goals that way, and not going to wow anybody, not going to probably dangle through anyone, but just making the plays that are in front of me and trying to do that as consistently as possible.
You're on a line with Rockford and Rinaldi. I mean, that's a pretty nice combo to be with, right?
Yeah. I think I said the other night, it's fun. They're both such good skaters and playmakers that, I go get the puck and get it to those guys. They can go do their thing. And I just try and find some open space or to the net and create some havoc for them.
And how much does that make your job easier? How much more fun does that make your job when you're playing with guys at such a high level like that?
Oh, it's great. Obviously, you just, like I said, you're always engaged in the play. They're going to find you, and it's nice when we have the puck. It's a lot better than defending, obviously. So, you play with guys that have the puck a lot. You're gonna get your chances, and just making sure we're responsible with the puck when we need to be. But I've played with skilled guys before, and lucky to be able to play with some more here in Rockford.
What's the biggest challenge for you? I mean, it's just such a high stakes hockey right off the bat. You just got here. What's the biggest challenge to be able to fit in as quickly as you can?
I don't know that it's any adjustments. It's just go out there and play the game I know I'm used to. Don't change my details and make sure you bring the intensity every night. I think that's probably the biggest thing, is making sure I have the intensity and that I help maybe rub off on other guys that they play with some intensity, and don't get too nervous. It's just another game. Even though it's playoffs, you gotta go out there. You gotta be able to make plays that you're used to making, and maybe even elevate and chip in a little more offense here and there, or make a big defensive play, things like that. So it's a good opportunity for everybody here, and it should be fun going forward.